Hi, my name's Simon Madden. I played 378 games for the Essendon Football Club, was a dual premiership player, and am now a member of the AFL Hall of Fame and the Essendon Hall of Fame. In my time inside football and outside of football, I've dealt with many people with mental health issues. But I don't think I've ever dealt with anybody dealing with schizophrenia. When the Florey Institute asked me to be part of this documentary, I was very keen. This is a very good documentary setting out the details of schizophrenia and hopefully will lead to greater awareness about this illness within the community.
Schizophrenia is such a complex mental health condition. Most people probably think about it in terms of the overt psychosis episodes, the symptoms that relate to the delusions and the hallucinations. So the average age of onset of symptoms in schizophrenia is late adolescence to early adulthood, so in the sort of 18 to early 20s. It generally presents in men earlier than in women. There's some idea that it may be impacted by hormones. And the primary symptoms that people notice is the psychosis. But what's interesting is that the mood and then the cognitive changes are actually seen a lot earlier before the onset of the psychosis, but it's rarely detected.
So my first diagnosis was when I was 19. I was hospitalised and they labelled me with acute psychosis. But later on, I had a few more diagnoses labelled to my name later on down the track.
I was 18. I got possessed by a spirit.
Hearing voices?
Yeah. And I was hospitalised for 6 weeks.
24. I had depression in 1987. Yeah. Because my mum died in 87. And my father couldn't handle me, so I had to go up to Canberra, stay with my husband and auntie. Yeah. But Dad didn't tell me why and how Mum got ill. So that's why I was really alone with Dad. Because I had to travel from Canberra to Melbourne to be with Mum.
I had my first psychotic episode when I was 16, but I wasn't formally diagnosed until I was 17. I had thought echo disorder. I had visual hallucinations, auditory hallucinations, and paranoia. And then for 10 weeks, I was very unwell.
So Isabella had quite a difficult, challenging childhood, but it was only when she was about 25 that she had a full psychotic episode with hallucinations, delusions, voices shouting at her in her head, and gunshot noises and all of that. So at that stage, there was a clear, for the first time diagnosis, schizophrenia. And that has been a lifelong challenge since that age for her. And naturally that's involved a responsibility on carers, my late wife and I. And we have devoted a lot of time and thought to how to look after Isabella, both while we're here and longer term after, with both Colin.
I went to my parents' place after hospital. I was very depressed. I had no friends. But I had a case manager that helped me find accommodation elsewhere.
I had depression in 1987 because my mum died in 87 and my father couldn't handle me, so I had to go up to Canberra, stay with my husband and auntie. Yeah. But Dad didn't tell me why and how Mum got ill. So that's why I was really alone with Dad, because I had to travel from Canberra and back to Melbourne to be with Mum. And I'm currently on Lexapro, epinephrine clozapine. That's about it.
I'm on clozapine. They've tried me on several medications, but they found clozapine was the best one.
Clozapine, Zoloft, Epilogue, olanzapine.
I was there for, I think, over 3 months. Yeah, they're trying to find the right drugs for me. And it was like a hit and miss kind of thing. So we have treatments, and I think it's important to recognise those. So the current treatments, primary treatments, address the positive or the psychosis symptoms. These are the anti-dopaminergic drugs that were developed many years ago and have been refined. So what we know is that they treat the psychosis, but at the moment, many of them also come with a lot of side effects, things that impact weight gain, sleep, for example, aspects of heart health and cardiovascular changes. Now, when it comes to things like the mood or the negative and the cognitive, the thinking problems, what's been challenging is those same drugs that treat the positive symptoms aren't really effective for treating the other symptoms. So that's been the challenge as to why we need to actually target and have a better understanding of other brain systems that are changing and that impact those symptoms over the positive. Yeah. We know that people diagnosed with schizophrenia have a higher incidence or the risk of suicide. And this is seen in terms of the fact that the current medications aren't necessarily as effective in treating those symptoms. I have very close friends who have seen such changes when engaging with creative arts activities. What we really need to do is be able to help individuals with pharmacotherapy, for example, to be able to engage in those activities and ensure that they have a holistic way in which to be able to recover. We know that, the brain and the body are interconnected. So it's not just about treating the brain, it's actually about treating us as a whole individual. And that's where not only do we need pharmacotherapy treatments, but we need to ensure that we provide additional peer support in a holistic way in order to really support healing and recovery.
I just hate the stigma of schizophrenia. I think we need to be well informed about it, that it's not a violent illness.
A whole lot of things, a whole myriad actually, yes, desperately trying to find work. That was a real ordeal. I ended up doing psychic telephone lines, which was a shocker actually. I couldn't handle the problems of the people. I try to get out and about. I do have a terrible shopping addiction, but I try to keep healthy, go for walks.
From you were there, you had a job.
Yeah.
Or you came out, you lost your job because you're in hospital.
Yeah.
And which was a bit unfair. They sacked you.
Yes, they
while you're in hospital.
Yeah.
Look, Light into the Limelight has been very helpful, very life-changing. It's helped me grow immensely as a person. I've learned confidence skills in acting and music and meeting like-minded people. And the support network around Light into the Limelight is very recommended for anyone that wants to join.
There is something about I used to say this. I published a paper that was looking at the evolution of brain genes and how what enabled humans to be incredibly talented and intelligent and genius is actually the same molecules in the brain that actually are impacted in mental health conditions. So it's almost like you can't have one without the other. They go hand in hand. And I find that quite intriguing because if you think about some of the most incredibly talented people, they also battled a lot of mental health conditions.
I've always enjoyed the NTR, right? It's really good people here. I enjoy the filming. I can't ask for more. I like working with Declan, Neil, and yourself, Michael.
Oh, it was amazing. I really love learning lines and just being a part of it. It really helped my self-esteem and growth into a new person.
Arts Access Victoria is Victoria's leading arts and disability organisation. Next year is celebrating 50 years of work with deaf and disabled artists. We aim for cultural equity for all disabled people. We find that for a lot of people, they can't apply for grants by themselves. They need organisational support. And this helps a lot with people's anxiety around when, money's coming in. We really believe in paying people and making sure that happens. And so by supporting grants, applications, we make sure that people are valued. Everything is based around storytelling. Every art form, there's a story to tell. And it's really about whose stories are we telling, who has the power and agency in those stories. And when that person said to me, the difference is that I'm believed for my story. And I really, believe in valuing people, valuing their stories.
Each year we learn more and more about mental health. And I believe it's time that we all learnt more and understood more about schizophrenia and how it affects people, but how we can still get them becoming great members of our community.